with that, number 5. Pretty neat deal for you guys that have been trying to build this thing.
Yeah, exciting. Well deserved. You know, obviously last weekend didn't go our way, and we missed the opportunity to be Pac-12 champs, and that was devastating. And we'll never get that opportunity for this group of kids and staff again. But we left that effort in Corvallis. We respect what happened in Corvallis, and it does happen in very competitive environments like Corvallis, and so we need to move on. And the fact that in our 4th year, the irony of us being a national seed, number 5 national seed, expresses the body of work that this particular group and my staff has deserved. And the fact that one of the teams that's coming up here to compete against us is my old team and 4 of my ex-coaches and some players that I know very well and some administration that I know very well. You know, you never really want to play against your best friends until maybe the last dance. So do I like it? No, but I think it'll be fun. It adds a little intrigue and sidebar to it, and I know they're a very difficult program to be successful against, but there's 2 other teams in that regional as well. And you know, I guess the best way to say that is that if we don't get it done in this regional and Cal State Fullerton does, there's probably there is no other team in the country that I'd rather see go in our place than Cal State Fullerton. So from that part of it, it's refreshing.
Was there any briefing on Austin Peay?
I don't know anything about them. Never played them. Not even. This isn't a disrespectful comment, but I'm not even sure how they got in, what conference they're from, and it's not the disrespect. I just don't follow that side of it very, very much. And I do know Indiana State a little bit. There's some irony in that. Their head coach is on a committee with me. Their athletic director is the father of one of my ex-players, Ron Prettyman. I actually had a little bit to do with Rick getting the job there. Lindsey Meggs, the head coach at University of Washington, was an old friend. Because I knew Ron Prettyman Sr., I had something to do with Lindsey getting the job there. Not everything, but opened the door for him. And when Lindsey took the job at Washington, I know Rick Keller was on the verge of getting it the first time. And it didn't hurt him, I guess is the best way to say it, that I knew Rick very well and had great respect for him from our committee work and gave him a vote of confidence through Mr. Prettyman that maybe helped him get that job. And he's done a fine job, and he's a fine man and a fine coach.
Is that sort of a project, though, now, finding out about those teams? I mean,
that's what my assistants just sprinted over to do, and that's what everybody's doing now, scrambling, trying to find information. The good news is we're not trying to figure out flights and hotels, and that's one of the advantages of hosting is it slows your life down a little bit until Thursday, and the comfort of that. And I think advantage to Fullerton that Mike Kirby's been up here and knows his way around, and Coach Vanderhook's played up here before in his UCLA days. So Kirk Sarlos, their pitching coach, was an All-American pitcher for me, and I played with his dad. And Chad Baum's one of their coaches. So the weird deal would have been Chris Jones, Aaron's brother, was on that staff until he had to give it up as one of their staff members at Cal State Fullerton. So it would have been like a family regional, I guess. And I don't know, much about Austin Peay or their coaching staff, but at this point, there's no easy ones. You know, there's some you look at, well, that's a tough one and that's difficult, and you know, there's 64 teams, and even some of the teams that don't make it at this point are deserving and they're tough teams. So we've got our work cut out for us.
You threw your hands up in the air when Fullerton was announced as coming. Was that celebration? Was that out of irony?
Irony, yeah, irony. Just relationship. I reached out to that staff because of my relationship with them, congratulated them on their Big West championship and beating Long Beach State. That's their version of Oregon State for us, and so that was a great accomplishment. They started saying, hey, we like rain, we're coming up, and I said, no, I think you're going to be a #1 at Stanford. That's how I had it mapped out, so that shows you what I know. They're smarter than me. Hopefully it's just in the picking the regionals and not on the baseball field, but Yeah, I could see that unfolding once they didn't go to Arizona and UCLA or Stanford. It was pretty obvious they were coming up here. Did I do that because I thought they would be easy to beat? Absolutely not. Did I do that because I get to see my old team and my old friends, my current friends? That was the exhilaration.
You stay with your rotation?
I don't know yet. We'll figure out the matchups and who. The bottom line at this point of the year, it doesn't do you any good to come in second. You got to win it. And so anything that I would do, change the pitching rotation around, would be an educated guess on what gives us the best chance to win the regional. And then sometimes you get in the loser's bracket and you still save a guy because it doesn't do you any good. You can't play the next game unless you win one, but you're not playing to come in second. It doesn't do you any good. You got to play it to win it. And so we'll make an educated guess on the best matchups and the best way to have our pitching rotation set up once we get scouting report information.
Coach, you said it's a lot easier knowing that you don't have to travel. How nice is it knowing that for potentially the next couple weekends you're going to be playing in the friendly confines of Peay as opposed to traveling back east to Connecticut or something like you did 2 years ago?
Yeah, that's the huge part of being a national seed. Really, there's no other advantage to that other than you're going to play at home if you're successful. In my early days at Fullerton, we had to do it on the road in hostile environments like Oregon State, or we didn't play at Oregon State, but places like Texas and Fresno State and Wichita State and Oklahoma State and places like that are really hometown crowd energy kind of places and very difficult to win. And in my career as the head coach at Fullerton, we got the luxury of hosting quite a bit because we earned that and had that kind of facility. But in my associate head coach days, we had to do it on the road frequently. So, like I told my team, it's not a slam dunk, but it's a lot easier. You don't have to pack, you don't have to worry about hotels, you don't have to worry about flights. In our case, we're still in school, and a lot of these programs are out of school. So. The NCAA is pretty smart. Sometimes when it gets close, they hedge on that they look at the academic effort of our young guys, and we would have to proxy exams and all those kind of things too. So it's also good for our academic effort as well, so I'm happy about that.
You said yesterday the season is, of course, extreme lows and extreme high. You just had an extreme low, now you got an extreme high. Good lesson maybe for your guys if the going gets tough, sports just can change so quickly.
Yeah, I think that the sport of baseball I think that's one of the reasons that players that I coach go on and they're successful as parents or teachers or lawyers or doctors. Or the sport of baseball is a lot like life. You put a lot of energy in it and discipline in it, and you try to win each day. And sometimes you do everything to win each day and you don't. And then the next day you do the same thing and you get all kinds of rewards. And I think there's a great parallel to life and life challenges. And as they say, we went from the outhouse to the penthouse today. So, and hopefully the penthouse just keeps getting one floor higher by more things that we would have to earn on the field. And the NCAA has given us an opportunity to do something, and now hopefully we'll take advantage of it.
You said that you guys left everything on the field in Corvallis. It's obviously easy to talk about and tell your guys to do that and talk to them about doing that. Is this group able to do that?
Well, some of the life lessons are that you remember the longest are the hardest ones. Hopefully we learned from a personality that was not successful in Corvallis. Had we been perfect in our personality and our control and our process, it still was a very difficult place to win at, but we weren't. And so I didn't think we had much chance of playing our best baseball. We did 1 out of 3 games. I thought we were the right personality and played well and came up 1 run short. Not taking anything away from Oregon State, they played awfully well, but we did not control ourselves very well. So that's one of the things we discussed. Now winning becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're going to want it even more. And the only good news, it's in our home ballpark, which may make us more comfortable, but still the will to win sometimes gets you out of your body and trying too hard and all that. And hopefully we learned our lesson, and Doesn't guarantee that we'll play great, but it'll give us the best chance to play great if we get more under control and more focused on pitch by pitch mentality.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thanks guys.